Hi everyone, this is Usha Pandit, your Mind Springs English teacher. Today I am going to talk to you about how we are doing grammar the wrong way. Across the world, you will find adults are not able to do grammar. Teachers make mistakes with grammar, they are confused even after teaching. They normally say that when you teach, you learn, but you will find that we just don't seem to be able to learn grammar. If you go to a grade 12 and ask them to pick out a verb, a compound verb, you will find that they struggle. Adverbs that are not the normal ones, they are not able to identify, and so on and so forth. So what is wrong with what we are doing with grammar? I'll tell you today. If you are new here, subscribe to my channel, make sure you press that bell notification, share the video and write your comments in the box. So, what are we doing wrong with grammar? We are doing grammar vertically. So, we do a noun and then we go on to an adjective, adverb, verb, preposition, pronoun. When you go vertical, what happens is the forgetting cycle takes over and you forget what you learnt earlier. Then the complexities of grammar will floor you. The overlaps will confuse you and then you give up. That's what happens to grammar. Why is grammar so useful? Because teachers can instruct children to write. If I say, why don't you start with a participle phrase, and children know what to do and they know what a participle phrase is, then writing becomes easy. Instruction in writing becomes easy. Otherwise, you just have to give them inane comments like, please improve your vocabulary, try to write better, etc., which does not really help. So, grammar has its plus points. The other thing is all competitive exams will use about 10 marks of really difficult grammar in order to eliminate thousands of aspirants who come in for the few seats that are there for either admission or for employment. So, grammar is not something that you can wish away. But if your foundations are strong in grammar, there are many things that happen. Grammar, vocabulary, phrasing, writing and oral. All of these arms of language must go together in order to make language strong. The complete language solution that I offer is the series called Language with Ease. Today I am going to show you how it works and how it should work efficiently. This series does not use the vertical pattern, it uses the horizontal pattern. It layers grammar. So, you do one sentence a day and you do it for 100 or 150 days in the year, or you can space it out through 2 years, but what happens is what you learn is never forgotten. That is the strength of Language with Ease. If you are doing grammar the vertical way, you must stop in the coming year and subscribe to a spectacularly successful horizontal way that I am going to show you. So, 100 to 150 days and there you have this diet of grammar and all of these that you do simultaneously. So, grammar, then you also pick up vocabulary, you also do phrasing, and that's how language becomes stronger. Children learn the inner engineering of language. So, how does an adverb function? What does it do? How does it change the sentence? How does it impact the reader? All of this is what grammar actually does. And if we give that the go by and we start looking at only or labeling grammar, then we would be shortchanging education. And all it should take is about 10 minutes to 15 minutes a day max. In the beginning, it takes 15 minutes maybe, and then it should come down to 10 minutes. The trick is not to write anything. So, as children go up grades, they should be able to write short forms in their textbooks and not in their notebooks. The minute you start writing definitions, writing exercises in notebooks, a lion's share of the time is spent on writing and not in understanding, not in repetitions, not in frequency, and therefore learning will not work. Hence, I would say I'll show you how to do it quickly. Now today what I've got for you there is a big one, right? By the time students come to grade 7, they are able to do sentences like this very comfortably. They are able to do clause analysis, they are able to manipulate it and change it from active to passive, direct to indirect, the whole works. Imagine doing all that grammar with a single sentence, manipulating it from the complex sentence or the compound complex sentence it is, identifying it and then changing it into a compound or a simple sentence, is all about being in control of language. It is all about being able to write those sentences in different ways that create impact. It's all about how you are able to succinctly write so that the word limits that people look for are maintained and you are able to pack a punch into the kind of writing that you deliver. Hence, Language with Ease is the series you are looking for. Start from grade 1 and go all the way up, and children will do it as if in a dream. It's that simple. Even if you are starting in the middle, it will take a little bit of bridging time, and I am there to handhold you through that. So let's come to how we can do this big sentence. To do everything in the exercises and the oral work, you might take 2 days maybe. But just this grammar should be done in 10 minutes. And how do you do that? The mistake teachers make is to get every child in the class of 30 children to participate. So you say, let's punctuate the sentence, because punctuation is something that is done every day. So let's punctuate the sentence, and you call upon children to come. What is the, what is team, where is the verb and how, and you go on like this. It takes an enormous amount of time. Now, the reason why you should not take time is that these sentences are going to happen for the next 100 days. They are not one grammar period a week for 40 minutes and then the next Monday and then the next Monday. It's not that. It's every single day, briefly touching it. That's the method. That's the pedagogy. So don't change it and try to do it to death. So you ask one child to come and absolutely do all of it, or just finish. In grade 7, I'd say finish your punctuation and come and just tell me what the punctuation should be. Next, you ask students to pick out all the verbs. Now this is where it will become tricky. So I'm going to say has been practicing. A lot of students will pick out only practicing if they are not used to working with a book like Language with Ease. But has been practicing is a tense, and a lot of our students will also name the tense for you because they have learnt how to name the tense. So has been practicing is a tense, and they are probably going to say, yes, there you got a verb. Still not prepared, are prepared, but they are still not prepared for the football finals that are to be held in France. And then the coach himself admitted when answering the questions. Now, you might put to the prince, you might underline answering. If you are doing this with me, stop the video and underline all those verbs and see what happens to the underlining. See whether what I have underlined is right or wrong. So we need to see that, right? So you are going to do this. Now when you get to a clause analysis, if you've got a direct speech sentence, you have to change it into indirect speech. Otherwise you won't be able to do the clause analysis, because your main clauses The coach himself admitted something. That's your main clause. He admitted something. That's your main clause. That. What did he admit? That. So you've got a that here. That the team had been practicing for the last months, but you've got a compound clause coming up there, but they were not prepared for the football finals. Again, you've got that here, another marker. Which football finals that are to be held in France in this March? The coach admitted is over, that's your main clause. And when did he admit? When? So those are your markers. So you've got 1, you've got 2, you've got 3 and you've got 4 markers. Now if you say put is a verb, I'll ask you, where is the marker? If you say answering is a verb, I'll ask you, where is the marker? When answering, is this a verb? When answering the questions, what is missing here? Are we saying the coach was answering the questions? Are we saying he was answering the questions? If it's a verb, it needs to have a subject. This is the kind of grammar that children will eventually learn simply because they are doing it every day. Now if I teach you this and if I don't touch it for another week, and the next week I am going to go ahead with my syllabus and do something else, what is going to happen is you are going to forget this lesson completely. You are not going to remember that if answering is a verb, then it needs to have a subject. So it's understood when he was answering, when he was is missing, and therefore that answering is not a verb. See, so we'll have to take this out. When he was answering the question put by the press. When he was answering is not there. When answering the questions, put by the press. Now put by the press, who put? By the press, passive, is it a passive verb? Somebody put, questions were put by the press. Is there a word there? Is there a helping verb? No. So what is put? Put again is not a verb. Put is a past participle. Questions put by the press, therefore is a phrase. When answering questions put by the press, therefore both those will not be verbs. So what happens to when? When answering questions put by the press, it will, all of that admitted when answering questions put by the press will be one big clause. That is your main clause. The coach himself admitted when answering questions put by the press. All of that is a single clause because there is only one verb, admitted. See the complication. Imagine doing this kind of complicated exercises because from grade 1 the students have slowly come up. So this done, when this is done, the next time it's met and the next time and the 50th time it is met, this is not even going to be in question, it's going to go so fast because it's recognized immediately. And if not, this is going to be a huge struggle forever. You're not going to get it at all, right? So therefore you have this, and then we have a lot of vocabulary. Now what's our vocabulary? So we have got nouns, call out the nouns, and people call out team and months and coach and football finals, a compound there, football finals. You can't say the football and you can't say the finals, they go together, so therefore football finals. And the coach of course, and press, all are nouns. Now I could say, why don't you add adjectives to it? And what sort of adjectives would you add to the coach? The zealous coach, the ambitious coach, the worried coach, the reluctant coach, head coach, the recalcitrant coach, the bad-tempered coach, the exacting coach, the meticulous coach, the experienced coach. Now if you say any of those, now this is vocabulary building. What kind of press? The curious press, the inquisitive press, the insensitive press, the unrelenting press. I am adding vocabulary. So I change my adjectives. Now my students are writing down these adjectives in their books and they are saying, wow, this is good. You are learning the meaning from context. I am looking at still not prepared, and then I am saying, okay, are prepared, how? Still not completely prepared, still not totally prepared, still not properly prepared, still not definitely prepared. So I might have a lot of adverbs that I put. If you take a verb like admitted, apologetically admitted, shamefully, wryly, hopelessly, indifferently, humbly, angrily, contemptuously, derisively, you are adding mood to the sentence. You are teaching writing, see. Then I am going to do phrasing. I am going to talk about press and I am going to say, come on, press, I want you to give me a phrase with press. So you might have the absolutely overbearing and insensitive press, an alert, watchful and investigative press. So this is vocabulary, this is phrasing actually. Now if you say, I can't think of so many words, all of these are in the answer key in Kindle. So all your children can go and actually purchase the answer key from Kindle and all these words are readily theirs. We are building vocabulary. We are not building vocabulary when it comes in a textbook. You are building vocabulary live every day by catching nouns, by catching verbs and by adding adjectives and adverbs to it. Or you are taking a prepositional phrase and you are changing it into another prepositional phrase. Now you are constantly revising these terms, you are constantly revising all of grammar every day or every 2 days. If you spread it over 2 days, this is how grammar should be learnt. It will never be forgotten, all your doubts are cleared, the practice keeps you ready and you're good. You're good as gold. Any other complications that is put on top is going to be very easy. So this is what the book does to you. So I wanted to show you this so that you are able to understand what exactly is done in Language with Ease and why is it that people are so excited about it. Let's look at oral work. Oral work is very important because children have no fluency. They are just not fluent in the language. This is because they never get to speak. When they speak, it's colloquial. When they speak, sometimes it's grammatically incorrect. And with the result, they never learn to speak well. For you to speak well, your tongue must flow with the rhythms of language. And how do we do that? We've got a sentence, 100 sentences across the book and 1 sentence a day, something that you can yourself record on a WhatsApp and send it to the group and they can use your better English in order to listen to and emulate and say those sentences over again so that the tongue is speaking. This is like homework, good homework. So let's look at this, expressing refusal. How do you express refusal? So all of the sentences are made in such a way that all the ways in which we use English. So we use English to apologize and to congratulate and to refute something or to complain or to talk about, inform. We do use it for a variety of purposes. So it's kind of managed in that fashion. So this particular one is about expressing refusal. So it goes like this, I'm sorry I will not be able to come, I'm sorry I'll not be able to come. So use the language of everyday life. Do not get dramatic over it. Don't make it drama, but keep it the way you would talk to me. I'm sorry I'll not be able to come. I'm sorry I'll not be able to come. You need to say this many times. If you want words to download, if you want language to download, it needs to be practiced. So I will not be able to come as I have an appointment with my dentist at that time. However, I will certainly come as soon as possible to congratulate your brother. However, I will certainly come to congratulate your brother as soon as possible for winning that award. Do convey my best wishes to him. So this is how we talk to one another. So use the common rhythms of everyday speech. But students need to say this. If you don't say this, your English will not be fluent. It is going to be checkered, it is going to be nervous, it's going to just simply not help you when you desperately need words to talk. And the grammar then will become automatic. The labeling is good, it helps you to write. The labeling is good for those 10 marks that will fetch you those seats into a college or get you that job or get you into a foreign country. But the oral is critical for the kind of impression that you make on a large number of people you are likely to meet every day. So I hope this has helped you to appreciate language with ease. There's lots of help out there. I myself give schools an orientation on how to teach it, and those who have done it are absolutely over the moon. So go for it and do comment, do inquire and visit our website and find out more about language with ease. Okay, so till I meet you again guys, keep smiling.